YouTubers, and welcome to a new video of Arepas for Dinner. So, in today's video, I actually had a very nice light that just burned, so I need to buy a new light bulb. That's a shame. Doesn't matter, for the ones who don't know me, my name is Andrea and I live in the Czech Republic and I do videos about my life here. But this specific video is not about the life in Czech Republic, it's about winter. Because when I was moving from Florida, USA, to Prague, I literally watched like 100 videos on how to deal with winter. Especially because winter is not just warm clothes. That's fine when you go for vacation to a place. Winter is the season that actually affects your mood a lot. So my tips in this video are going to be divided in different steps. And you can go directly to the step that you might be interested on. I'm going to put here all the different subjects that I'm going to touch in this video because back in the day I couldn't find one video that had all the subjects in one. So I tried to make that for you guys to avoid the winter blues, stay warm, blah, blah, blah. So these are the topics that we're going to hit. I'm going to look a little bit this way because I made a list there and I don't want to miss anything. So the first one is keep your mood up. That's pretty much how to fight the winter blues, and that's very, very necessary for all my Czech friends here in the channel. I know there's many of you watching these from the Czech Republic and from Slovakia as well. I acknowledge you too. And I think you guys live the winter, but you don't like live the winter. You don't like winter in general. People in the Czech Republic despise winter. And this is kind of a list of things that might help you enjoy winter a little bit more because after all, the cold weather in the Czech Republic is around 6 months of the year. So you're gonna end up hating half of your life. That makes no sense. So I'm trying to put together a list so you can actually enjoy winter. Then the second thing that I'm gonna talk about is, and I'm gonna put here the minutes so you can go directly to the part that you're interested on, is how to keep your house warm. That's super important. The third one is how heaters work. Very important, especially for my friends that come from places where there's no winter. The number 4 is the clothes and how to dress for winter. 5th is beauty tips, and the 6th is some extra things that I've learned in this past year that I just want to let you all know because you might be able to use it now that the weather is getting kind of colder. So that's it, let's start with video. But first, subscribe if you think you like this kind of content. You for sure gonna enjoy my channel, and give this video a big thumbs up if you are liking it so far. Keep your mood up. How I keep my mood up during the cold weathers. I mean, literally right now it's raining, it's cloudy, it's cold, the leaves are falling down, and I'm so happy about that. How? Well, because I follow all the things that I'm just gonna mention now. Number 1 is about lights and lighting. For the ones who don't know, in the Czech Republic, the sun can set up to 3:50 p.m. in some days during winter season. That's very early. Like, that doesn't leave you much room for any sunlight, right? So, for me, at least, in order to keep my mood up, I actually have to play with my lights. So I buy very, very low consuming light bulbs that have a lot of lumens. Lumens is the capacity of lighting that a light bulb has. So you have to buy those light bulbs. They consume very little, but they illuminate a lot. And I put them in my common area spaces like kitchen, living room, dining room, my studio. When I set them up, I make sure to turn them on around 2 p.m. and I don't turn them off not in the entire house, but in the area I am in until 8 p.m. That way, I kind of like trick my brain into thinking that daylight is much longer. That works for me, it doesn't consume more energy and it helps my mood. Number 2, music. And I cannot show you any of my winter music right here, but I leave a link down below to my Spotify. I made an entire playlist of sweater weather, I think it's called Cozy Winter. And you're gonna hear there all my songs, and they're not Christmas songs because winter ends like by the end of March. So you don't wanna be hearing jingle bells by the end of March, that's weird. So these are just songs that keep my mood nice and cozy and winter-like. And you know, for me it doesn't work to like listen to reggaeton or to like summer is here songs because that's literally just gonna depress me because it's not summer and I'm gonna be like summer is gone. We in Spanish say a thing, I'm gonna put the translation here, that says si lloras por haber perdido el sol, las lágrimas no te dejarán ver las estrellas. And that literally is what I'm talking about. We have to get into winter mood and celebrate winter, not miss summer. Number 3, alarm clocks. So it is important to acknowledge that during winter, the sun comes out so freaking late, right? So for me to wake up, I mean, you can wake up with any alarm, but there's this special alarm clock that actually lights up during 30 minutes, continuous 30 minutes until it's fully on, and then it sounds. That way, it actually tricks your brain into thinking that the sun rised and you actually wake up more energized. I use this alarm clock Monday to Friday, and then on weekends as well, I mean a little bit later, I make sure to put it at 8 a.m. to ensure that I wake up energized. It really makes a difference. And speaking about waking up, keeping up a schedule is so important during winter times, because the lack of light is gonna make you wanna eat at weird times. It's gonna make you wanna stay in bed like forever or go to bed so early. And to me, it works best to have a schedule, pretty much a timetable that says I wake up every day at 8 a.m. tops. I mean, in the weekends or something like that. During the week, I wake up earlier, but I wake up by 8 a.m. maximum, and then I have to go to bed by 9 p.m. at the earliest. I can't be going to bed at 7 p.m. because that's just not gonna do it for me. So what I do is I keep it in schedule. I usually in this house we have dinner by 7:30 p.m. and I still have dinner by 7:30 p.m. Even if the sun sets at 3:50 p.m., I don't care. Dinner is at 7:30. That's gonna help my brain to keep like a normal routine and not fall into this vicious cycle of like depression. And speaking about eating at certain time, the foods that you're eating are also going to make a huge difference. It's very nice to eat like fresh salads and canned tuna sandwiches in summer, but in winter you actually should be eating more hearty foods. First, our body needs a little bit more fat to function because it's very cold, and second of all, because it's going to warm you up. So stews, anything that is kind of like saucy, baked, longer cooked, those are going to be your favorites. Soups as well. And as well, one of the foods that you must eat is mushrooms, because mushrooms give you they give you vitamin D, and that's going to help with your mood loss. So if you can include mushrooms in all your meals, that's amazing. Make sure to eat all your meals warm. The warmer the better. And that also brings me to what you should drink. In winter, we all get dehydrated and we don't even notice because it's cold, so you're not like thirsty like in summer. So my recommendation is always have a cup of tea next to you. Always be drinking tea. It doesn't have to be green tea because you're not going to be able to sleep ever if you drink green tea the entire winter. But you can drink like infusions, like those like strawberry teas, just like strawberry infusion. And you actually just put a little bit of lemon and honey like Czechs do, and that's going to bring your mood up and it's going to keep you warm. That also makes me go or jump into what to drink alcohol wise. And I know brandy and all of those really warm you up, but nothing warms you up more than malted wine or hot wine that you can prepare at home and literally drink it anytime you have people over. It's so delicious. I made it last year and I'm gonna leave a video at the end of this video so you can check that out. As well as I made many recipes like for winter when I used to use this channel as well as a cooking channel. So I'm going to leave those there if you want to check them out. I mean, I love watching recipes during the winter times because it makes me feel like cozy. I don't know why, but that really helps. So if you want to check those out, I'm going to put them here on top so you can click them and watch them later and by the end of the video as well. You have to take your vitamins, and I'm talking about open up your dose of vitamin C to avoid getting sick and vitamin D, because one of the main reasons why we get sad during winter is because of lack of vitamin D. And if you have darker skin like me, you're gonna get very deprived of vitamin D. So one of the best things you can do is take vitamin D, 1,000 to 2,000 micrograms a day, and also go to a solarium. And you're gonna be like, a solarium? That's so bad for you, Andrea. What's wrong with you? Well, yes and no. I mean, if you go like twice a week for 20 minutes, it's super bad for you. But if you go like once a week for like 6 minutes, it's actually very good for you. Because yes, solariums do give you the vitamin D that you're lacking. What? And it also helps with your mood. Having greenery inside the house. Actually, hello. But yeah, keeping green stuff, green plants inside the house is very important because everything besides pine trees dies. This one is about what to do is cozy movies, go to the movies, go to the malls. So those are 3 very important things to do in winter to keep your mood up. Malls are super well lit, so the light in the malls make you very awake, as well as very warm inside. You can walk, you can see other people without fearing the cold weather. So that's something I really do a lot in winter, and it helps lots, to be honest. Then go to the movies. Like now with COVID, everything is kind of weird. So I don't know, when are you going to be watching this? Maybe COVID is already over, so it's okay. And actually going to the movies helps a lot. Making those like little get together with friends to go watch a movie is keeps you away from the cold, and it's a nice activity you can do with other people. As well as watching cozy movies at home. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but during the hot season I don't watch TV that much, but during the cold weather I do. I don't watch movies as much, but I watch a lot of YouTube. So I make sure to watch a lot of like ski documentaries. I love those, like ski, snowboard, all those fun documentaries to watch in wintertime, as well as all the cooking videos. I love watching cooking videos during wintertime. And all those like movies that take place during the winter or the cold season are gonna help you keep the nice winter mood up. And the last one on how to stay happy is plan a trip outdoors. So this is something you can do every weekend or not. You can go every weekend to the mall and actually plan this once in a while. But planning a ski trip, cross-country skiing trip, just walking in the snow trip, hiking trip, all those things are actually gonna help you connect with winter in a different way, and that's gonna make you not hate winter that much. Okay, now let's start on the second part. That is how to keep your house warm. For this part, I wanna say that keeping your house warm, it not only relates to the temperature of the house, but there's much more things that can help you keep your house warm that has nothing to do with temperature. So first of all, this one has to do with temperature, that is, don't go too savvy on the heaters. So having a house at 30 degrees when it's negative outside is just stupid. But actually having a house in 16 or 17 degrees when it's negative outside is stupid too, because that's just gonna make you miserable. So my advice is actually to keep your house temperature nice and toasty. You can keep it a little bit warmer if you want or if you can't, but just don't keep it to a temperature that you have to be wearing a sweater inside. Taking showers, and this is about keeping yourself warm inside of your house. But when you can't seem to find yourself getting warm in any way, the best way that you can actually get warm is by taking a shower or taking a bath. Some people say that they shower less during winter time, and I honestly don't understand how is that even possible, because I shower pretty much double than in summer just because I want to keep myself warm. Electrical heaters. So electrical heater is literally like a fan that you plug in your wall and it's gonna produce hot air. Sometimes when it's very, very cold outside and you just came back and you can't seem to get warm, having one of those really help, especially if you put it near the floor so it actually warms your feet, because that's pretty much the part of the body that controls our body temperature. So if you keep your feet warm, you're gonna stay warm. Cooking and food. As I said before, cooking is very important during winter. So if it's very cold, I really suggest you to bake. That's a great way to keep your house warm, because when you bake, you heat up the oven, and when you finish baking, instead of closing it, just leave it half open. I mean, if you have kids at home, you can almost close it, and if you have pets that might touch the oven, but otherwise you can keep it pretty much open, and that's just gonna warm up your entire kitchen. So many times I decide to bake chicken instead of making it in the pan, or to have baked French fries instead of French fries, just because I know my oven is gonna get warm. I even sometimes bake cookies just because I need to warm my house, and it's a great way to warm it without wasting energy. Candles. Candles is a great way to keep your house cozy or making it, feeling warm inside of the house. Because candles kind of trigger the brain into our, ancestor type of thinking that we have fire nearby. Having good bed covers is so important. I've noticed that in the Czech Republic, people have separate bed covers, meaning he gets one, she gets one when you're a couple and you sleep in the same bed. For me, that was kind of odd because I've never seen that before. I think other countries do it as well, Germany, I think, but I'm not sure. I would be lying. The thing is that I am not a huge fan of that. So I bought my bed cover in UK. I bought it online. There they have grading for bed covers. So I make sure it was hypoallergenic feathers, 7 out of 10. That's like how warm the bed cover is. Mine is 7 is so warm, so nice, without being like suffocating warm. So yeah, keeping your significant other warmer and not separating it with another cover actually is going to keep you warmer than having two different covers. Close your blinds at night. Here is very important, because if you close your blinds, you're actually going to keep the house much warmer, and the heat is not going to escape through the glass, because the glass is one of the places where the heat escapes the fastest, because there's no insulation, I don't know how to say that. But you have to open them during the day because if there's any sunlight, you do want that sunlight entering through the window, of course. Carpet up, and that's so silly yet is so important. Nowadays we've changed from carpet floors in every house to a much more modern wooden floors and all the wooden thing. So in my opinion, yes, keep your nice wooden floors, but buy carpets. Buy a big carpet for your bedroom, big carpet for your bathroom, buy a very big one for your living room, for example. That really helps the coziness be on. And as for carpets as well, you should keep blankets everywhere. That's something we do pretty much all year because we like having blankets in the living room, but we put especially big cozy ones when the days start to get colder, because there's nothing more warming than actually popping a blanket when you're watching the TV. Change your shoes. But what I mean is your shoes get pretty cold. So when you get home, my best advice is to change shoes to like slippers, or you can just wear different types of shoes if you want inside the house. Now, I'm going to explain a little bit how heaters work and the different types of heaters. Also, I'm going to say which type of heaters we have here in the Czech Republic and how they work. That's very important. So the types of heaters are floor heating system. Then we have the air heating system. Wall heaters, most common in the Czech Republic. Fire, the best one, but I'm going to talk about that a little bit. And that's it. So the floor heating system is pretty much like a wire, let's put it that way, that goes, or like a tube that goes in the floor that heats up your entire floor. They even have it in some places in the walls. So pretty much the entire room heats up from the bottom up, which is great. I think it's the best type of heating system, but it's not very normal here in the Czech Republic. The second one is the air heating system. You don't have that type of system pretty much anywhere in Europe. That was the one that I did have in US. To be honest, I think they don't have it in Europe because it consumes a lot of energy, but I really liked it. It was very easy. It's the same air conditioning system, but it just like heats and cools, the same like the car. And people say, oh, but the heating would come from the top. That way you would lose all the heat. But you don't really lose the heat just because it comes from the top. It worked very nice when I had it, but you won't find it here. So let's forget about that one. So the third one and the most common one is the wall heaters. The wall heaters work by taking cold air from the floor and then going through it. And then they expose the hot air from the top. But they don't work with air. They actually work with water. They have water inside that heats up by gas or by electricity, and then they do this with the air. So even if you're not seeing it, if you touch a heater on the top, you're gonna feel the airflow. It's very little the airflow, and no, it creates a circulation in the room that is just gonna keep the room warm. And they work pretty fine. Like, it's kind of weird and it looks like it's just like a hot thing that gets hot in a corner of the room, but not really. It really moves the air. Then fire. Fire is the best and in my opinion the fastest, but at the same time it's very messy. You have to clean it and you have to change the wood, and it's kind of contaminant as well because you're just burning their wood all the time, and not every house has it. I mean, if you can have a fireplace in your house, that's amazing, but for example, we don't have one. Okay, the light is changing so much that this is ridiculous by now, but let's continue. So now we're gonna talk about my favorite part, that is the clothing, especially the boots. I mean, we're going to talk about all the clothing you need to stay warm, but let's start by the boots. So my favorite boots are ones that are very well known for being ugly. They're Uggs. So Uggs boots became very on fashion, I think, in the 2000s, and I bought mine like 10 years ago, and then I bought a second pair because those are the only boots that are going to really keep your feet warm. Doesn't matter how cold it is outside. I mean, I own 2 pairs and I literally don't wear them until the weather hits 0. But once it hits 0, that's the only thing I wear. It's literally the warmest shoe I own. So if you're a man, that might be weird. You might not be able to. No, I think they have kind of like men's shoes. The thing is, they're not cheap. They're quite expensive, but they last a lifelong. Like, literally, I had mine forever and I use them so much and they're still in great shape. I honestly prefer taller boots than shorter ankle boots. Why? Well, first, I like how they look. And second, I know the ankle boots are more like fashionable, but the taller boots actually keep you warmer. So in my opinion, if you have to pick, I would pick maybe a mid-calf boot. That's enough. It doesn't have to go all the way to the knee, but yeah, I don't love booties. Snow boots. So snow boots are a type of boot that people use in the ski trips when they're not skiing. Those boots are 100% waterproof, snowproof, and very, very, very warm. They don't come very cheap, but they're not expensive either. And you should get a pair of those because they're literally gonna keep you warm despite whatever the weather is. Those are very, very useful. I have a pair and I use them a lot. And the last one of the shoes, I mean, you can buy whatever you want, but this is just my advice. The last one of the shoes is actually very good slippers. So having very good slippers for inside the house is mandatory because I already told you that in Czech Republic you don't have floor heating system. So if you live in the first floor or your neighbor is cheap and doesn't turn on the heater, you might be struggling with cold feet. To get very good slippers, actually if they're like rubber sole slippers are even better because that works like an insulation layer to keep your feet even warmer. But in general, I have to be honest, anything that has fur inside is ideal. I have literally like tennis shoes that have fur inside and they're as warm as the Uggs. Jackets, this is such a topic. So coats and jackets. To be honest, they're different things for different purposes. If you're living in the Czech Republic, forget the coats. Pretty much nobody wears coats. People literally go with their ski jackets to the city. So, I mean, coats get wet when it's rainy. Why would you? I just don't like coats. I mean, they're cute, but we're talking about staying warm here, not looking cute. And I am not a fashionista. If you want to be fashionable in winter, go check somebody else's channel because I have no idea anything about fashion. I just try to look as cute and warm at the same time as possible. So yeah, I'm a fan of jackets. And no your super expensive $200 jacket from North Face or whatever. No, I'm actually a fan of cheap jackets. My advice is to have many jackets because jackets don't always fit the weather. So you have jackets that are rainproof, you have jackets that are kind of open in the middle, you have jackets that have hoodies, you have jackets that are heavier, that are lighter, that are like waist length or long. So I literally have them all because I much rather have 10 jackets that are worth $30 each than one jacket that is $300. That's my opinion. So I got mine in Zuiki in Italy. That's my favorite one. I got some in Amazon. Primark is huge. New Yorker that has very cool jackets. My advice for jacket is have it that material that is kind of like an umbrella material in the outside. It can be shiny or not shiny, that's up to you. I prefer it not shiny. And then the length is very important because if you come from a warm country, especially Latin America, you might have a butt and literally that gets so cold. I mean, that explains why Europeans don't have big butts because ouch, that gets cold. So yeah, wear a jacket that is a little bit below your waistline. I mean, you don't have to wear something like below your knee. It just looks weird. I mean, if you want, great, but you know, I don't like it. So I honestly just have jackets that cut just on top of the knee or a little bit above, and those are ideal. Those are the jackets that I use the most, as well as the ones that had fur in the neck. I really enjoy the fur in the neck, and the ones that have the little hat that you can remove with a zipper. Vests. Vest is such a big thing, and I think most people don't really even know how they work. I know I had no idea how they work. Now I love them. So they work pretty simple. The thing is that when you go out and you're cold, what is cold is your fingers and your hands and your legs and not really your torso. So people are like, why would I wear a vest? Well, the thing is that your arms get cold because most of the blood stays here protecting your vital organs. But if you leave your vital organs very, very warm by wearing a vest, your arms actually start getting warmer and the blood flow literally goes there. So for extra cold weather and for extra cold days, you might want to pop a vest, or as well for days kind of like 10, 12 degrees, 13 degrees that you don't want to wear like a huge jacket. You might want to wear like a sweater and then a nice vest on top and you won't be cold, which is crazy. Scarves and hats. So scarves and hats. Scarves, there's two types of scarves. You have the wool, big blanket style. Those work very good. Italians and Spanish people love wearing those. Czech people don't wear those that much. And then you have my favorite ones that are silk scarves. So a silk scarf doesn't have to be shiny. It's literally the thinnest piece of cloth you are gonna see. And you're gonna wrap that on your neck and you won't believe how warm it is. It's the warmest scarf. It's literally the warmest scarf. Those scarves, I just like fold them very tiny and I keep them in my jacket pocket or something. And if it gets super, super cold, I will pop them in my neck. Hats. I don't use hats as often, but you might get headaches because if your ears get cold, you're gonna get headaches. Also, The head is the part that releases the most amount of heat for some reason. I don't know. I don't really understand why. But I know having your head exposed won't give you a headache, but having your ears exposed will. So the more normal one that I use for hats is actually the band that you wear around your ears, because it looks super cute. You can wear a high ponytail, which looks super cute, and it's not like flattening your hair. So for your normal clothes, this one is the key of success, because my idea of being like ready for winter is being able to dress warm without looking like a crazy person that just put all the blankets on top of her. It just took me a couple of winters to figure that out. So I'm gonna give you all my tips on how to stay super warm and not look like a crazy person. So first of all, thermal. Buy thermal socks, buy thermal shirts, buy thermal underpants, leggings, ties. You don't need thermal bra, but for sure thermal shirts are great. You also have thermal sweaters, that works very good. And why? Because the thermal things are a very thin layer that you can add that is going to add a lot of warmth. And yes, if you are in Europe and you're watching this video in Europe, you actually need the layers, because inside is very warm, outside is very cold. So you might need to take layers on and off. But to be honest, I realized that the thermal layer doesn't really make you extremely hot. And if it does, because you go to a party and it starts to be very hot, you can go in the bathroom and just remove the thermal layer. To be honest, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it's the leggings, not even thermal leggings, because honestly, I just have like warm, nice leggings that I wear under my jeans. I also wear tights under my jeans. And that's how I'm able to go out when it's minus 10 degrees in jeans, because I'm having that underneath. People just cannot see it. It's just so, I have from the thinnest ones that are just like pantyhose to the thickest ones that literally look like neopreno. Because those things are going to keep you so warm. They're not visible and you won't be freezing everywhere. And those are my advices towards clothes. Finally, now the advice towards beauty. So your beauty routine is going to change so much in the winter time. I can make an entire video about this more towards Christmas, but right now I just want to like mention it very fast. In winter, the skin goes super dry, so it's very important to do, for example, put face cream that is oil based. Also, I use body lotion all year long just because I like body lotion, but in winter time I buy baby oil and I pop like half the bottle normal lotion, half the bottle baby oil, and I mix that, and that's what I use in the winter times. For the hair, it's very important to stop washing your hair as often. So I literally wash my hair every other day, or like I leave even one more day in between, which is, at the beginning I thought it was gross, but then in winter your hair doesn't really get dirty. I just buy a little bit of a spray shampoo, and for the ends I literally have rosemary oil, but you can buy any oil you want. Tea tree oil, it's great, rosemary oil, and you put like 1 or 2 drops in your hand. You do like this and you add it at the end of your hair. You can also do it in your roots, but it depends on the type of hair you have and the hands and the feet. That I already mentioned that you need a very good hand cream, or even better, petroleum jelly. And petroleum jelly is not a cream, but it prevents the moisture from your hands to escape. So it doesn't hydrate, it just prevents dehydration. And I like to mix this time petroleum jelly with a couple of drops of tea tree oil. Tea tree oil is very antifungal, very anti-smell. So you literally, my feet never ever smell, literally. And I think that's something that a lot of people have issues with in wintertime. That has never been an issue for me, because I always mix a couple of drops of tea tree oil with my feet cream, or in this case with petroleum jelly, before putting my socks on. So yeah, I have a couple of extras for you guys, and I'm gonna read a little bit because I wrote these over the week and I don't remember exactly, as well as I'm gonna answer your questions by the end of the video if I haven't. So number 1 extra, if you are gonna buy a car, that I don't know where you are. If you're in Prague, probably you won't, but if you're elsewhere, you might want to buy a car. Make sure to buy a car that has a winter package. The winter package includes the seat warmer. It includes sometimes the steering wheel warmer, of course, heater, and as well the back window and the front window. It has like these little wires that they heat up so they can melt the snow. And also, one of my advice towards getting in your car when it's very cold, it sounds silly, but I actually go outside before I finish brushing my teeth and finish putting myself together for the day, turn on the car, turn on the heater, then go back inside, finish doing what I was doing, leave it for 5 minutes, and when I go and I sit in the car, it's already warm. I mean, it works great. I also, this is an advice for car and for non-car, that is, I love to make tea or coffee and put it in these like tumblers that keep the temperature inside, and I just take it wherever I go, to work, to the supermarket, whatever, and I have there my cup full of like warm beverage, because that's really gonna make you very, very warm. Okay, so for the ones who don't follow me on Instagram, go follow me, because I literally ask many things about my YouTube over there. So that's the best way you can interact with me. And I literally like keep conversations with everybody on the DMs. I don't care. I love chatting with you guys. Somebody said, what are some of the best places to buy winter clothes? Thank you. And as I said before, Amazon is one of my favorite places, to be honest. And the second one is probably Primark or New Yorker. What makes you love winter so much? Well, this answer actually deserves like an entire video. No, I'm kidding. But actually, because of all the things that I said before, I like to connect with winter, forget that summer existed, and get excited towards winter. Literally, I just eat certain foods in winter that I don't allow myself to eat them during the summer, like goulash and things like that. So when winter starts coming, I start getting excited because I'm able to listen to all this music, watch all these movies, eat all this food that I don't do during the summertime. If you're just gonna be missing summer, you're gonna hate winter. You have to make an effort to connect with winter and realize that it's a different time. So different activities are on the table. You're gonna go more to malls, you're gonna ski, you're gonna watch more movies, you're gonna have more like heartwarming, cozy dinners at home, and those things should excite you as well. You cannot just focus on like, I'm not able to eat ice cream. Focus that now I can eat apple pie. What activities, my mom asked, what activities you do in autumn? Not in winter, but in autumn. In autumn, I love going to pick up walnuts. I love doing that. It's great. Picking up apples is also a great thing. I love to start baking by fall. It's something I really enjoy. Having a lot of get-togethers because the weather is not that bad. So I do get-togethers inside the house, and you can actually have the fire pit in the garden and invite friends and just be there. It's not snowy or anything. It's the perfect weather, to be honest. And walking. I just love walking around my community, going to the center. It's like the heat wave is over. Now you can actually pop your jacket and go places. And I don't know, I think I enjoy the most fall, even more than winter, but I learned to love winter as well. Weather in Prague. Well, Prague used to be very, very cold. Nowadays, it's not as cold anymore. I think the lowest temperatures we got last winter were like a shame. It was like -5. It was like, where's winter? But literally, Prague can get very cold. And this year, La Niña is going to be happening. That's something that happens in the Ecuador that changes the weather in the northern places. So if La Niña is going to happen, that means winter is going to be colder. And literally already in September, we started having like 10 degrees temperature. So that tells me that winter is going to be very cold. So maybe you're watching this video because you realize it's going to be cold. So Prague can get very cold. We got like a week that was about 2 years ago that was -15 the entire week. And the thing is that it might not be super, super cold because it's dry, and dry weather makes it less cold, but it's very long and it ends like very late. It starts a little bit late, but ends very late. So it starts to feel that it's 6 months of warm weather, 6 months of cold weather, but it's doable. This is not Siberia. It doesn't get -20 degrees. Like, no, I mean, the coldest that it's going to be in a normal winter is going to be like -10. So, and it's not that many days, and it's only at night. So it's doable. It's not terrible. Okay, so I think that responds more or less all the questions. If you have more questions, pop them down. And if you have more tips of things that you do in winter, let me know down below, because I am so obsessed with winter. I literally love preparing for it. I don't know why, but I love it. So that was it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and to give this video a big thumbs up, and also stay tuned for my next video that is coming on Tuesday as well, for the winner of that bottle of wine from previous video. You are gonna see it announced on my Instagram, so you have to go to my Instagram here to check the winner over there. And that was it. See you next Tuesday with a new video. Bye!